Have you ever been unfairly treated or falsely accused or rejected out of hand? Well, obviously, if you're a human being, you've experienced this. We all have. And how do we typically deal with this? Usually emotionally, we either go to anger or defensiveness or guilt and withdrawal. Both are very unhealthy but common reactions. You may have been accused unfairly and you're just so mad you want to get back at that person. It's normal. But how can we get out of this cycle of being rejected and then going to anger and defensiveness or guilt and withdrawal? Well, I'd like to share with you some stories in this video and future videos about how people have chosen to deal with that situation and come to some conclusions. We're all still learning. My first story is of my friend whom we'll call Alice. Alice was working in a large corporation, working very hard on a big project, trying to get it done. One day she passed near our colleague's death. They didn't see her, but she overheard them talking to Kate from upper-level management in New York. They were saying, "Oh, Alice will never get this work done. You should see her desk. It's just overloaded with stuff." Her friends, she thought were her friends, were laughing with this woman on the phone. She was so mad. She went back to her desk and tried to bury herself in her work. Then she kept thinking about her accuser and how angry she was. I have to confront her. She can't treat me like this. But then she thought, no, I'll just burst into tears. That'll be terrible. It'll be even worse. So she tried to focus on her work for the rest of the day, but didn't get much done. When she went home, she was mulling this over in her mind. What can I do? I can't deal with these people. I know, I'll quit. Yeah, I will be away from them and have no income. Oh, it's brilliant. She was going back and forth. Eventually, it's so late, she went to sleep. She thought she went to sleep anyway. She was tossing and turning for hours. What can I do? Then she remembered a speech she heard about how people respond in a healthy way to mistreatment. The speaker said that you have to seek justice when you can, but even more important is to do something for your inside, to let go of that bitterness, which she called forgiving. Now, this is something you do privately without the other person so that you can just feel free. Well, she thought, well, I don't know, I just feel so upset. I guess I could try this. So she thought of her accuser and how horrible that woman had been. It was so wrong. So she didn't deny the pain. That's important. And then she just forgave that person in her mind. It felt better. But the others were listening in on the conversation. They were so mean, laughing at her behind her back. So she thought about each person. She thought, that wasn't right. But I don't want to hold on to bitterness. I forgive that person, each person one at a time. And when she was done with everyone, she just felt so much better. The tension had drained out of her body. She felt relaxed. She was breathing better. She was able to fall asleep peacefully. The next morning, on only a few hours sleep, she awoke refreshed. She went into work and she was able to be friendly, even to those people. She was able to focus on her work, and eventually she got that project done on time. Later, they moved to a new building, and she was assigned one of the best cubes in the whole area because her boss knew what a great job she was doing. Later on, also, Kate came from upper-level management in New York. Alice was just talking with her and deftly just said, "Oh, you know, it's great how we got that project on time and no problem." So she corrected the false impression about her. That's how Alice dealt with the situation. How would you deal with it? We all want to deal with mistreatment in a better way. The word forgiveness is a funny word. It's a complex topic. In fact, somebody once called forgiveness the F word. I think you understand why. There are really three common objections to forgiveness. The first one is, why can't I seek justice? I mean, they're the ones who did something wrong. And then what if I don't feel like forgiving? That's not going to work. And lastly, I've heard, well, if I forgive and they mistreat me still, do I have to maintain that relationship? I'm just enabling them. Well, these are important questions, and I want to discuss these in a future video. So I hope you'll look for my video on choosing justice or forgiveness. Which one is better? Maybe a combination. Join me for that discussion. Thank you.